Guys, this is Mr. Joshy J, and today this is your Formula 1 Austrian Grand Prix review. Yes, I know it's called the Styrian Grand Prix, but it is in Austria. I'm going to name this video Austria Race 2 Grand Prix review. Right, so let's get on to the race. Lewis Hamilton was on pole, second place was Max Verstappen, and third place was Carlos Sainz in the McLaren. So, yep, at the start, Lewis Hamilton got off the line very well. Max Verstappen under pressure on the McLaren. Carlos Sainz was able to keep him at bay. And then in the third corner, there was an incident. The two Ferraris crashed in together. Awful weekend for the Scuderia Ferrari team. No pace. Charles Leclerc crashing into Vettel. Charles Leclerc was outqualified by Sebastian Vettel, missed out on Q2. Awful weekend for Charles Leclerc. He'll be getting a very low score when I get on to driver ratings, which I'll get on to that a bit later. But yep, Lewis Hamilton looking very comfortable in the race. Controlled the race, really. I mean, apart from the two Ferraris crashing into each other, not much happened at the start. So obviously the safety car came out, and then in come the safety car. We're off racing again. George Russell in the Williams. Oh, so unlucky for him. 12th in qualifying, then made a mistake going off the track. Dropped back to last, but still beat his teammates, Nicholas Latifi. Alfa Romeo Antonio Giovinazzi looks quite slow, but Kimi Räikkönen just missed out on the points in 11th, so that was really unlucky. Max just didn't quite have enough pace to keep Fauci Bottas at bay, but, you know, it's a much better weekend for Red Bull this time out than last weekend. Last weekend was a horror show for them, you know, a double DNF. But this time, much better. Racing Point, yeah, they got a decent amount of points. That Sergio Perez had a damaged front wing, and Lando Norris on the last lap was able to get 3 cars. Unbelievable driving by the McLaren driver. Lando Norris ended up finishing P5. My goodness me. What Lando Norris is doing in that McLaren is extraordinary. But McLaren are slowly finding their way back to the top again, which is absolutely fantastic for a team like McLaren. George Russell in the Williams was doing superb until he made that mistake. I feel even if he didn't make that mistake, he probably would have finished quite low down anyway, because, let's face it, the Williams has no pace, so... But George Russell, he definitely has the potential to be a good driver, because in the wet, he got the most out of that Williams. But in the virtual Grand Prix, George Russell was driving unbelievably. So, yep, has poor weekends in them. They just got absolutely no pace whatsoever. First weekend, brake issues. Just no pace at all by Haas. Awful. But as for the Scuderia at Ferrari, they've got massive problems. They really have. This has got the potential to be the worst Ferrari F1 car since 2014. They brought the upgrades forward, but even that didn't seem to make any difference in the race. They were still slow as anything, you know. Well, they're both pretty much out of the race so early, they couldn't get any mileage in, but that team has big problems. Mattiano Binotto really needs to sort out his two drivers, have a chat to them and get them to stop making contacts, because them two made contact in Brazil and took each other out of the race. But, you know, for Ferrari, they're the 5th best team on the grid at the moment. I mean, Renault are looking quite competitive, you know. Daniel Ricciardo got some decent amount of points in them. Esteban Ocon retired because Renault had overheating issues. That's the problem with Renaults. They suffer with a lot of overheating issues, which is a shame for them. But if they can work on that, then I reckon Renault be a decent team. Well, Fernando Alonso be hoping they are, because he's coming back next year, which I'm still absolutely buzzing for. But, you know, as to the race itself, I thought not a lot happened, so I'll probably give the race rating about a 6 out of 10, but well-deserved victory for Lewis Hamilton. Alex Albon finished 4th, but was 40 seconds off the top 3. I mean, that is not a good weekend for Alex Albon. I mean, in the Red Bull, he should be closer to his teammate than that. But Bottas, disappointing weekend for him. To be beaten by his teammate by that margin calls alarm bells to Valtteri Bottas. He's really got to up his game if he wants to become world champion. Because it just goes to show Lewis Hamilton is the main driver for Mercedes. Ever since Nico Rosberg's left and retired, Hamilton has just been leading that Mercedes team. So, yep, right, let's get on to the driver ratings. Now, I'm going to do it in no particular order. Just going to give ratings out. Lewis Hamilton, 10 out of 10. Fantastic in qualifying in the wet. Had the race under control, start to finish. So 10. Valtteri Bottas, 5 out of 10. I mean, not a great weekend for him. To be beat by his teammate by that margin, as I said, calls for alarm bells. Max Verstappen, 7 out of 10. Looks decent in the race, just didn't have enough pace to keep the Mercedes behind him and Valtteri Bottas. Alex Albon, 5 out of 10. Disappointing qualifying. Absolutely nowhere in the race. Shocking by Alex Albon to be beat by Max Verstappen by about 40 seconds. Alex Albon needs to up his game, otherwise Red Bull will lose their patience, because they're not a very patient team, Red Bull. Charles Leclerc, 0 out of 10. Awful qualifying, and then to do what he did with all them cars around him, ended up crashing into his teammate. Awful weekend by Charles Leclerc. Sebastian Vettel, 6 out of 10. Out-qualified Charles Leclerc in qualifying. Was not his fault he was taken out of the race. Just an awful weekend for the Scuderia Ferrari. Massive problems in that team. They need to sort themselves out big time. 5th best team on the grid. Just shocking by Ferrari. McLaren, Lando Norris, 9 out of 10. To overtake 3 cars on the last lap. Absolutely fantastic. Carlos Sainz, 7 out of 10. Awful pit stop, but made a good recovery to finish 8th or 9th in the race. So, yep, well done to him. Daniel Ricciardo, 6 out of 10. Decent amount of points for Renault. Esteban Ocon, 6 out of 10. Was doing really well until his car overheated. Having a great battle with his teammates. Racing points, Sergio Perez, 6 out of 10. Thought he did very well to score the points despite having a damaged front wing. But obviously got passed by Lando Norris on the last corner. Still kept his teammate though, Lance Stroll at bay. Lance Stroll, 6 out of 10. Decent weekend for him. AlphaTauri, Danny Kvyat, 3 out of 10. Disappointing weekend for him. But did get a point for AlphaTauri, so that was good. Pierre Gasly, 5 out of 10. Decent qualifying, but was on the wrong strategy in the race. So, yep, poor weekend, really, for Pierre Gasly in the end after such a positive qualifying. But after a good qualifying, that's why I'm giving him respectable 5 out of 10. Williams, Nicholas Latifi, 2 out of 10. Disappointing weekends for him, very quiet. George Russell in the Williams, 6 out of 10. fantastic qualifying, but awful to make that mistake. But still, just shows that he is a good driver, and I'd be very excited if he was in a top team to see what George Russell could do. He definitely has the potential to be a good driver, George Russell. Alfa Romeo, Kimi Raikkonen, 6 out of 10. Alfa Romeo with the Ferrari power unit don't have much pace, but Kimi Raikkonen just missed out on the points. Antonio Giovinazzi, 1 out of 10. Very disappointing weekend for him. Finished 19th. And then, last but not least, Haas. Roman Grosjean, 2 out of 10. Just no pace in that Haas whatsoever. And Kevin Magnussen, 2 out of 10. Haas, with that Ferrari power unit, looks slow as anything. That is the driver ratings done. Let's get on to the team ratings. Mercedes, 10 out of 10. Nailed qualifying. Red Bull, 8 out of 10. Decent points after not scoring any in the race before. Ferrari, 0 out of 10. Dreadful for them. Renault, 6 out of 10. Had decent pace. Racing points, 7 out of 10. Decent amount of points for them. AlphaTauri, 6 out of 10. Decent points for them. McLaren, 8 out of 10. Really good points for that team. And it's good to see McLaren getting back to the top. Renault, 6 out of 10. Had decent pace. Haas, 0 out of 10. Awful weekend for them. Alfa Romeo, 2 out of 10. Just shocking by them. But, it's been a good weekend. Join me for my preview to that Hungarian Grand Prix, which will probably be out on Thursday. So stay tuned to that. Let me know who your driver of the day is. Driver of the day, Lewis Hamilton. Just because he looks so comfortable out on track. And, great weekend for Mercedes. Ferrari, sort yourselves out. Bye-bye.